Nerdrotic.com.
We had to talk about something. We're going to add this to the podcast because this is huge news and it's in our wheelhouse. This is one of Dennis and mine's favorite shows. This might be my favorite show on the air. Is Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Big news that Dennis posted and rocked my world a little bit. Sci-fi-wire.com put out that Bruce Campbell teases Ash vs. Evil Dead, imposes 5 rules for Hollywood, and in this, it talks about it possibly being canceled after season 3, hanging up the chainsaw, or quitting.
Maybe not. Maybe not renewed for season 4. They're waiting for the renewal for season 4. Is what's going on. And honestly, we were both just talking about this in our very, very, very long pre-production meeting. All of what was it, 2 minutes?
Maybe.
That we think that he was pretty drunk when he was shooting that the 6-minute video, and even being the consummate showman that he is, I think he was doing a bit of marketing on that. And also, as I was telling Gary here, I'm pretty sure he's usually Ash vs. Evil Dead premieres in October, so we should be seeing this next month. They're pushing it till next year, the beginning of next year. That already right now, season 3 is going to be premiering next year, and that's a telltale warning sign right there that there's something wrong with stars and this production. And it could be that there might be some money issues. And it seems like Bruce is a little bit pissed off being one of the producers of the show and also the actor. So I think that was the whole thing, saying that if they don't renew the series, they're basically killing off the character completely and they're going to be done with it.
Yeah, I felt the threat in that for sure. Definitely go to the article and watch, and we'll share it in the description. Watch the video. It's hilarious. He's drunk off his ass. And it's funny. Now, Stars, from Stars' point of view, they are probably taking a big hit in subscriptions because of everybody going digital now, and people are being frugal with what they subscribe to. Even though you can jump in and out when you want, and Ash vs. Evil Dead is worth, I think it's $14.99, or you can get an extension on your Hulu. I believe it is worth every penny just to be able to rewatch that. And
I buy the Blu-rays myself. So.
Yeah, me too. Because there's excellent special features. But they show, after each episode, they show a little 5-minute clip on how they made the episode, and especially they focus on the effects, the practical effects. This is the best show on TV. This is how you extend an older property properly. Okay, you get the original creators involved. You get the original people. You don't recast it as whatever.
You got to remember, this property, Evil Dead, started in, what was it, 78, 79? So it's almost 40 years old. It's almost a 40-year-old property. And it really, the first one was caught on, mainly because it got banned in a lot of places. And then the second one was kind of a remake of the first one, only more comedy than horror. It still had both. And that actually caught on a lot more, especially with the advent of VCR and videotape. And and that was 31 years ago.
That movie had great word of mouth. I'll never forget the word of mouth on that one. And it also had one of the best posters, period.
Yes.
Ash was an instant hit. He's been culturally in. My wife was just talking about it. We were talking about Ash, and she goes, "Shut up, Jen." Or so, what does he say? "Shut up, Jenny," or something like that. And she remembered that line, and I'm like, right on, So like, people know this movie and love this property and love Ash, love Bruce Campbell. They tried to go the remake route with a different character, and it didn't work. And this even had the blessing of Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell, and it didn't work.
Yeah, he was even in it. He was at the end of a stinger.
He was at the end. But man, this show, when we saw it, it blew me away on how good it was. And with all, Sam Raimi had went through a lot of shit with Spider-Man 3, and he earned his cred back in that first half hour, or the first hour, because the first episode was an hour. 60 minutes, all Spider-Man 3's, the taint of that was swept away. And Sam Raimi, I think he's probably going to come back to Hollywood and do some directing now.
Well, he did. He did the Oz, the Trip to
Yeah,
Oz
but he
with
hasn't
James
like
Franco.
come back. He still is still under the taint of Spider-Man 3. I think that's gone now. And I think he would actually be welcome back if he wanted to do it to another superhero movie. And I can think of 5 or 10 that he would do great. But dude, it's just to hear the fact that this might happen, and it could. This really could be the last season of Ash vs. Evil Dead. That depresses me. It really does. And
for those of you at home who probably haven't watched the video yet, at one point, the interviewer asks him, "So when do you hang up the chainsaw?" And Bruce cuts in and goes, "Who says I haven't already?"
Yeah.
And he says it kind of jokingly.
He's been known to pop off like the whole being quiet about the season delay thing. And remember, it was Bruce who said, well, it's been delayed. He was the first one to say it. Nobody was saying anything. Everybody's like, when's Ash vs. Evil Dead? And I think the production company was content on not saying anything.
Yep.
He said, F that. There's fans asking us why they weren't at Con, and they were a noticeable presence at Con for 2 years. They did great. The Con trailers were some of the most talked about things. And honestly, it was one of the reasons why this wasn't a very talked about Comic-Con this year, because they weren't there. There was a lot of things missing, but Ash vs. Evil Dead was the one thing Dennis and I went for, and it wasn't there. It was so depressing.
Yeah, me too.
So we're still excited for Ash vs. Evil Dead. We just, there's things we have to talk about it because we haven't talked about it in a year, and it was one of our favorite things to podcast about. And with all the ugliness in the world right now, we just need Ash back. So, man, I hope it's not
the gore.
Yeah, don't be stupid, stars. And if you are, I'm hoping somebody else, like, I don't know, Sci-Fi or somebody is lining up to Netflix to do this, and to do this show. Don't give up on this show. Damn it. All right. Well, we had to fit that in to the podcast, just because we felt passionately about it. And we're going to start doing these reaction videos, and we'll see how they do. We're going to keep at it for a while. So if you get sick of them, sorry.
Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, America.
Groovy, baby. Don't cancel Ash.
And give me some sugar, baby.
Give me some sugar, baby. Bye-bye.
Bye.